crafty friends. Today we'll be making a card using the Bottled Happiness bundle. It's an interactive Valentine's Day card, but it could be used for any occasion. Hi, it's Maria Robinson, Stamping Simply with Maria. I'm so glad you could join me today. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I made this adorable card. And I made it interactive, so it has M&Ms in it. And when you rotate the heart, you can take the M&Ms out. If you recall, last year, I made a similar card, which is this one right here, using the Gumball Greetings stamp and die set. And again, I made it so that it was interactive, and you slide this to get the candy out, and then you can refill it at your leisure. In this one I used Nerds, and in this one I used M&Ms. So this is going to be for my husband. He loves M&Ms. So funny story, the other day he walks into my craft room and he's looking around, and I'm like, what are you looking at? He's like, why do you have M&Ms and Nerds in here? I said, well, you know, when I make cards, sometimes I put them in the cards. And he looked at me. So anyway, I thought, ooh, what could I do for him? Since I didn't have any more of the Gumball domes, as they are in the clearance rack, I did have the, I think they're called vintage bottles, shaker domes. So I did have a bunch of these, and I thought, oh, I bet you I can make a similar card using the Bottled Happiness stamp set, the vintage bottle punch, and the vintage bottle domes. So here you go. So let's get started. We'll set these aside. I'll put this one right here for my reference. I did go ahead and prep a lot of my pieces beforehand, but we'll be doing some of them together. So I have a card base that measures 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I then have some layering pieces. I have a retired piece of Designer Series paper, which is in Granny Apple Green, and that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of Basic White, which measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And these are already adhered here. Now for the pieces on the outside of the card, they're basically the same measurements. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then this piece, we're going to be using the rectangle stitch dies. I'm going to be using the second largest one. So we'll keep that out. And let's just go over some of these stamp sets that I will be using. So as I mentioned, I am going to be using the Bottled Happiness stamp set. We'll be using the 2 floral images. And then since this card will be for my son, I decided to use Hoot Hoot You're So Cute, but we're just going to use the You're So Cute since I'm not using the owl images. On my husband's card, I did Love You, which comes from Thanks a Bunch, which is a stamp set that is available during Celebration. And today is the last day to qualify for Celebration, so you guys have to get on it if you want this. It's such an adorable stamp set with these carrots. And lastly, I'm using Give It a Whirl dies. Now here's a die set that I bought because I thought it was so cool, the interactiveness that you could make with this card. And you know what? I haven't used it yet. So I will use it eventually. But what I used from here is I used the hearts, since I didn't really have any hearts for Valentine's Day. So I used not the smallest heart, but the second smallest, and then the second smallest, or second largest thing. So we got the really big one here, then we have this size, and then this size, and this size. We have the really tiny one. So I use this one here, and this one here. All right, so that is all our parts and pieces. Let's start by die cutting the rectangle here. I'm going to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now the mini is just a little too small for this. The die is just a little too big for it, so it didn't quite work. So got to use the big boss here. So we're going to line that up. And the reason I have it on an angle is because it will avoid the machine from going like a big bump when it goes straight. So if you have them on a straight edge, then it goes like bump bump, whereas this way it's a little bit smoother, and you'll see it doesn't shake as much. See, and there wasn't that big thump at the end. That's because the dies that have more of a straight edge, if you do them on an angle, it will avoid that bumpiness. So we have the die cut. I can throw out that scrap, and I am done with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I did go ahead already and cut my little hearts, and I've even mounted the one heart. So I cut this heart from that die set that I showed you, and then this heart also. Now this is the mechanism that's going to open, and you're going to slide this either left or right, whatever you like, and that will have the opening for the candy. The way I achieved this is I took the, oh, I found it. Okay, so what I did is I took the dome and I put it on a piece of cardstock. I outlined it with a marker, and then I hand cut it. And then you're left with this piece here. And what you want to do is you want to die cut it. You want to hand cut it a little bit bigger than what you drew out with this, because you want this to be a little bigger. So you'll see there's like a little border around it. Let's set these pieces aside there. So I have this piece here, and I want to adhere it. With the white card stock, you want to go towards the bottom and just leave about, I would say that's about 1/8 of an inch, because you're going to be punching these 3 pieces here with the punch, and the punch doesn't go all the way up. It only goes to a certain point, and I'll show you what I mean. So here's where I want them to line up, and you'll see that's where you want to cut. All right, so keeping those lined up, let's see if I could do this without gluing it first. You can glue these down if you want. I'm going to try this without gluing it. Wish me luck. So we're going to center that, and then we're going to punch. Now it's a little hard because you're going through 3 layers. 2 pieces. You know, let's glue this. I'm not even going to attempt that. Okay, so this is another piece of Retired Designer Series paper. This was the, I think when I joined, I received these packs. There was like 5 packs of DSP that you got as your freebie in your starter kit. So you can imagine now the freebies that they're giving out now. Like now, if you got a starter kit with Stampin' Up, you can get the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, plus $175 worth of product. When I joined, and that's for $129, when I joined, it was $99, and they have that option also. It was $99. You got 5 packs of the DSP, and you know, you got $125 worth of product. So this is a much better deal if you're thinking about joining Stampin' Up and becoming a demonstrator so that you can get the discount like me. It's a perfect time to join, and during celebration is the best time to join. I don't know what I got on there. Let's see if it removes it with the glue eraser. Yes, all right, good. So it was a little glue. All right. All right, let's punch this now. So I'm going to line up. I'm looking for equal spacing on both sides. Once I'm happy with it, I will punch. All right, there we go. Whew, that took a little muscle, huh? All right. I'm going to throw the white one out, but this I'm going to save for the inside. All right, so we are done with the punch. Put that aside. Now we can do some stamping. So I have my Stamparatus here. I've got it all set up already. And this is a two-step stamp. So you've got the two images which match up with each other. So I'm going to open this up, and when I'm using the Stamparatus, I like to go away from the hinges. I'll bring this into the camera a little better. There we go. So I don't like to go by the hinges because it seems like it doesn't give a good impression the first time that you stamp. So I want to go away. So that's why I like using the grid paper, because I go in 3 lines. I think that's how I did it. I'm saying, no, okay. Is it? Yeah. I may have to move this a little. All right, let's see. So 3 lines from the top and 3 lines from the one side. I'll put our magnets down. Let me put this where I want it to go. Wind up right about there. Okay, and then we'll pick it up with the plate. And we will use our first color, which is Pacific Point. And we'll ink that up. Okay. Give it a good press. Lift. It's a little bit light, so we'll do it one more time. Put something underneath there. And that's what's nice about the Stamparatus. You can keep inking the stamp and going back on the paper, the cardstock, until you're happy with it. Okay, that looks good. You can close this up. Now we'll use the Granny Apple Green. And before I do that, let's make sure it lines up correctly. Now the trick with this stamp set is that there's these little flower centers, and that's what you want to line up with the stamp. All right, that's good. Happy, we'll pick it up. And then we'll go with Granny Apple Green. Again, we'll press. These are such fun colors, the Granny Apple Green and the Pacific Point. Both my son and husband's favorite colors are blue. So this will be really nice. I'm going to go one more time with the Granny Apple Green also. Give it a little deeper tone. go. I will close up the green. I'm going to set these aside. We'll clean that up later. All right, now that that's stamped, we'll take the, well, I'm looking for my take your pick tool and somehow it disappeared. All right, anyway, I was able to peel it off with my fingers. So you'll want to take off the front and then just lay it down into your card base. And it falls perfectly in there. And next, I'm going to fill it with my, I have these, they're M&M's Minis. They're baking bits. The reason I got the baking bits is I could not find the mini M&M's in a package like this, but I have since found them. But I still have these. These work just as fine, just as well. Now, obviously, this doesn't fill up as well as much as the gumball one, but you still get a good amount in here. Once that's done, you take the backing off of the other side. All right, we got it. So once they're, and you can do this afterwards too if you want. I just find it easier to fill it first and then put the back on. And then you just go on the sticky part. Just lay that down. I might have filled it too much. Take a couple out. Still have too many in there. Guess I was a little overzealous on the M&Ms. I think that should be good now. Oh, we got one more that's trying to get out. Right, let's take a couple of these out. All right, so don't overfill the bottle. You can always add more to it. Right, so we'll keep those aside. That's done. Perfect. All right, next, what I want to do is I want to just add this to the bottom here. Just a little something decorative. It's a good way to use that piece that I just punched out. I'll add a little glue. So. And then we'll add the little heart in the corner. All right, now we can add the sentiment. So I've already gone ahead and cut and adhered the sentiment. As I mentioned, I used Hoot Hoot, You're So Cute. So you'll notice that I just have You're So Cute here, right? So let me get a piece of scrap paper. There we go. I'll show you how I did that. So you'll ink up your stamp, but you'll want to just keep it on the edge. So this is perfect for that because you've got the two lines. So just keep this on the edge here, being careful not to get the rest of it. And when you're happy, we'll stamp that down. And you just get You're So Cute. Can you even see that? All right, let's close this up. I'm a little close to you. There we go. Anyway, little trick for you. And zoom back out again. All right, so let's put that sentiment here with some dimensionals. 2 should be good. And then we'll add some embellishments and we'll call it done. As I said, this is a Valentine's card, so I didn't want my husband and son to see this. That's why I'm taping this after Valentine's Day. But you could use this idea for any card, for any occasion. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. It could be for birthdays, anniversaries, thinking of you. You know, anything like that would be perfect. Now, these are the Fine Sparkle Adhesive Back Gems. These might be on the clearance rack, or they may have been retired already. Not 100% sure. So one more thing I forgot to mention is before I adhered the sentiment to the designer series paper, I did go over it a little bit with the Stampin' Write marker, just on the edge to give it a little dimension. So thought it needed something extra. So here you go, gang. You've got your 2 cute little Bottled Happiness Valentine's cards. I hope you enjoyed them and give them a try. If you're interested in any of the products that I demonstrated today, please feel free to order them, or you can reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to help you place an order. My contact information is in the description below the video. If you liked what you saw and you're enjoying my video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Your comments, I love to read them. Definitely leave me comments. And I upload videos. I've been uploading videos now on Tuesdays and Friday mornings. So be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. I'd love to have you. So guys, have a great day. Enjoy your week. And until next time, bye-bye.